Okay, what up ladies and gents, your favorite Asian robot right here, and today we are testing out Crit Valby. So, I'm sorry I'm late, as always, but, you know, very busy these days. Plus, I'm also, taking my meds for my cough, so that took a while. Okay. Let's test out the Valby in the new area. I'm actually interested to see how she functions in the Bastion, but I will actually need to have a proper... I will actually need to have a proper mod for her. Ancestor module. So I'm gonna go mess around with these and see if any of them will actually give me some good stuff. In the meantime, I should have a better... Pretty sure I do have a better fusion reactor. Apparently, no, I do not. Do I seriously not have one that has crit damage? I mean, this is fine, but it'd be nicer to have one with crit damage. I can find one, it's not a problem. I'll deal with that a little later. But yeah, let's see. L-tray. Okay, first, we're gonna need to adjust a few things.
Oh, the special human child. What do you need?
Okay, let's see. Hit rate, losing HP, not a good idea. Critical hit damage, but losing hit points. Overall, this is pretty bad. So I'm gonna delete that. This one is already in a pretty bad state. Okay. Skill effect range minus lol. Hey, Austin. Man. Okay, moving on. This rerolling system is the most ass system I've ever seen for rerolling this stuff. Literally pure gotcha pulls. Be okay with this since practically all our skills are fusion. I'd be okay with skill critical hit rate and fusion as well. That'd be okay for me, but man, these are ass. Are you willing to take that? This is pure crit damage. Okay. Let's start adjusting this one. Tank. I'm okay with the skill cost minus as well. Although, oh, fusion skill power boost and skill critical hit damage. All right. Can live with that. I'll leave this one as is. This one is skill, critical hit rate, duration, and then max HP. Be okay with that. I can literally live with this. Hey, Gabak. There's a lot of temptation here. This last one. Skip boost. Crit hit rate and MP. Okay. Alright, let's see which ones to save. Definitely not saving this one. Nope. Not you. None of her skills, as far as I remember, are dimension-based, so... Not you. I mean, nice fusion skill power boost ratio, but that's really not going to help me. This one I can save for pure crit damage. So far, this is one of the best skill crit hit rate ones that I have. Okay. This is pure damage. And this one I can save as an emergency measure. Okay. Good enough for me. Okay. For this one, I'm just going to assign an R slot here as well. Put in this one, then I'm going to get rid of the rest. Okay, now for crit Valby, let's see. First, I need to know how much she needs.
Welcome, Descendant.
Into the lab. And we test from there. Also, just going to set my little goal here. Yeah, I want to see more. Hit the goal. Okay. Let's see. Skill crit. That's odd. I know that her skills are boosted by MP, which is fine. Or are they? Are they no longer boosted by MP? Or at least not in Spiral Tidal Wave, huh? Okay, I guess not, which is fine by me. I don't mind that. Okay, let me create some water first. Okay, now standing on water, what's my crit rate look like? 60.77.
Super chat received.
So at this current level, I'm at 60.77. If I were to increase by, say... And thank you for the super. Let me just put this here first. See what I'm looking at, right? Okay. With this level of crit hit rate and duration, okay, I'm already at 100% maxed. If I now change this to emergency measures instead, do I still stay maxed? Yeah, I'm still maxed. Okay. So this is at 300%. Now, let's push it with this one at 200%. So how much rate do I actually need before it's overkill? Okay, I'm still maxed out at 200%. Now, I had one that's just, say, 100% with fusion skill power boost, but this one has a completely different... Is there any way that I have... I do not have another increased bugger. Okay, I can't test it until that's done. So what I will do is I'll do the smart thing. I'll just put us in here first, right? For Bunny's EC. What do you mean EC? Either way, she's alright. You can watch the stream from yesterday if you want to see Bunny's test. We're not covering her today, but everything that you need to know is covered in last night's stream. Okay, we'll go with emergency measures because this is already 100%. Let's test it out. Nobody plays Electric Condense, dude. Gabak, let me know what kind of music you want. But yeah, nobody plays Electric Condense. If you play Electric Condense, everybody will literally laugh at you. Because there is nobody ever going to touch that. You are literally lowering your damage for no reason when she already has AoE. Her biggest danger is bosses and single target, not mobs. Mobs will just die as you walk past them. So yeah, don't waste time with Electric Condense. It's gonna be quite the waste. And if any of my friends, you know who you are, wish to join me, you always can. Oh, Zenith? Okay, let's test this. Yeah, just play my build when it's out. I will drop it today. If you want the best results, then that is what you should play. The mana regeneration seems good. So what's the spiral tidal wave? Is it just the... Is it just the crits on the thing? Odd. Sorry, I haven't played Spiral Tidal Wave yet. I know it's for crits, but... I don't see the actual spirals. Is it just me? Or am I missing something here? I mean, damage-wise, I'm putting these guys through a laundromat. Which is exactly what she's supposed to do. Well, hope your eye's fine. Okay, still no reason to use my laundry bomb yet. At least MP wise, she never runs out. I kind of like that. The restoration's really good. Oh, that. I literally don't need sight with this character. Mostly because the first skill is auto-target, so I don't actually need to see what I'm doing. I'm just checking when to actually bother with the fourth skill, but so far I don't really need to. Okay, next. She seems fast enough. Okay. You can just cast the skill and it'll just automatically hit whoever is nearest. So you don't have to do very much with this build, which is quite nice. Okay. I suppose for these elites I could laundry wash them. So far, oops, seems okay. Sorry, gang, that was a misstep. Got on my hover bike twice for no reason. Inessa's update was last time. But I don't really play Ines. The only thing would be her new, like, gun build, I guess. That one was, very good for Onslaught. I haven't built it because I just use Glaive for Onslaught whenever I'm in the mood. Boss-wise, even crit Valby takes a while, though. And this is with maxed out laundry. She's alright, I guess. Then again, Bunny takes just the same time. Okay. Bosses will be the only thing that take a while. Trash mobs are no problem. You got it, Gabak. Can do. The crits are extremely nasty, which is good. But ultimately, it's still gonna cost you 2 cycles of a fourth skill. So a fourth skill is used almost exclusively for bossing here. And it's gonna cost you at least 2 cycles. But the good news is, basically she can handle the new content. No problemo. Just like Bunny can. we go. No idea on that, Cleep. Okay. Oh, is the timing? 7 minutes 13. That seems fairly long. We'll try again. Because Bunny is way faster. So 7 minutes and 13 doesn't seem correct, but we'll try again. Let's have some metal then. She got a surfboard in last month's update. That's when they changed her.
Sight is how I meant to see. A symphony of madness is my sound.
right. Hope you enjoyed that. It's a good bit of metal to start the day. Goodbye. I'm pretty sure I also owe you some more music, so I will in a while. But yeah, she got the surfboard in the last update. Yeah, it's a pretty cool addition. No! Poor Valby. Some of his attacks, I guess, are more annoying for Valby than for Bunny. Yeah, she's still slow for some reason. And this is even with maxed out power. And I'm talking maxed out here. That's kind of sad. I expected better. But oh well. Oh well. Yeah, she's got MP doggo, HP and everything. Let's see how fast Glay goes. Because this is by no means like weak. Unless the only thing I can do is... Oh, but then I'd have to sap cooldowns even more. I don't really want to, but... Okay, if I were to take this out and put power increase, I'd have to sap my cooldowns, but this would be a major bump up for her. How's Freyna doing? Do you ever see anyone playing Freyna? The answer is no. With good reason, of course. This is the... Which is the one that gives ultimate Ezimo. Okay, it's this one. Exposed underwater base. Let's go with that. But that's kind of the problem with this whole thing. They keep power creeping everybody, so if they don't power creep you up, then you end up weaker.
Is now following.
Thanks for the follow. So yeah, it feels strange to me. I mean, that's the way they chose to do their stuff, but I'm not a big fan of it. Because basically, everybody got buffed to the point that if the older ones don't get buffed, then they can't keep up with the ones that just got buffed. So they've got this weird cycle going on. You can pray for it, but ultimately games like this, you should never have a main. It makes no sense. This is a roster-based game, so having a main would probably not go very well. So I can't say I sympathize because I really don't. This is the type of game where you just play whatever's strong that month because that's the way they've designed it. Can't have a main when they keep changing the flavor, right?
Entrance security disarmed. Descendant, proceed inside.
Besides, they already rebalanced Freyna once, and she was strong, super strong. Everybody played nothing but Freyna. Then her time came and went. And now others are strong. Lo and behold, the cycle that they have determined for themselves. The ultimate cycle.
Multiple Volga signals detected in the operation zone. Proceed with caution.
Yeah, of course, I did it day one. I showed everybody how to do it day one when the patch happened.
We're detecting multiple Volga signals.
I was actually there for that particular patch. But the results of that and the season itself were quite disappointing. It was the day Onslaught came out. Last month. Okay, good.
You need to use your hover bike from here on out. Descendant, massive energy signal detected inside the laboratory. Be careful.
Yeah, so she's by no means weak. It's just that that last boss in the new Bastion is pretty wild. So that's why she suffers a bit in that fight. I was like, man, 6 minutes. Bunny only takes 4. Now, of course, Bunny is like super fast right now because she's the new flavor of the month. But I just wanted to test and see where she ended up. And lo and behold, the proof is in the pudding. Yeah, Valby is definitely not slow. She hits hard and does what she's supposed to do. So this build is still solid, but I guess the biggest disappointment would just be the fact that Bunny has overtaken everybody. Let me head back and swap over to Bunny just for a fair test before we carry on. Okay, Fisto. Save. Swap. Hey Mo, it's going good. Just me being me.
Initiating the underwater base search operation, Descendant. Multiple Volga signals detected in the operation zone. Proceed with caution.
Well, I can certainly say you do not want to be missing out now.
Entrance security disarmed. Descendant, proceed inside.
She is way slower than Bunny, even with a maxed out build. Granted, I don't have like a crit hit and crit damage
Destroy the
AM,
device up ahead.
so that does affect me. But overall, I expected her to be better. Unfortunately, she doesn't quite stand up to scrutiny. I'm just doing a quick adjustment test to see the difference, because the latest area is very different from the others. Like, they really made the new area quite tough compared to previous areas, and that's completely fine. They want to ramp people up for Onslaught, which I completely understand as well. And tough and challenging content via the usual bullet sponge style is important, because it's one of their ways of, I guess, you know, making sure their new flavor of the month feels OP while still handling the new content. So that's their usual buff and rebalance style. I get it. But yeah, I think there's a significant gap right now.
Volga signals. You need to use your hover bike from here on out.
Well, do you expect the game to change its appearance? Game graphics don't really change.
Descendant, massive energy signal detected inside the laboratory. Be careful. Operation complete. Great job, Descendant.
Yeah, Bunny's just faster because she basically speed runs through most stuff. Like, Valby technically can deal with bosses, but she's just too slow on a lot of the other killing stuff, whereas Bunny is like burst damage instantaneously, you know, smash it down kind of dealio. Fair enough. Okay, time to go to Wall Crasher. Okay, nice. Now what I'm about to do is not actually an optimized build for Wall Crasher, but I really don't care. I'm just gonna go there and bum around.
picked up a mutant material formation signal in the skies nearby.
Okay. Build, please wait for the video, sir. It'll be out on my channel when it's ready. Yes, and expect more calming typing sounds, because while waiting for Wall Crasher, I may as well do work on my side business, right? I am never one to stop working. Work is permanent and must be continuous. Even a second of wasted time is not permittable. Life is easy. Making money is not. Okay, let's go. Here we are. Now let's mess around. Please be advised that this is not an actual build for taking on Wall Crasher. I'm just lazy to swap. So I'm gonna have my fun. The Glaze will handle this. I'm just gonna mess around. Is there no need to pick up loot anymore? You just get the loot? Yeah, sweet. Okay, great. In that case, I'm gonna get the hell out of here. Yes, give me all those trigger modules. These are the ones with the so-called correct stats, but wrong element type. So let's delete them before our next set of runs. Wall Crasher's always fast. If he's not fast, then you got a serious problem. Better start panicking because it means you got no Glaze and Serenas. Or even an Ajax. Okie dokie day. Let's head back. Okay, I'll let that cook in the background. Then off we go. Back at it. And then for the home Schleichgebak, I think I'm gonna play some more might play some new Viking tunes, you know? And play some of my latest Viking tunes. I just wanna feel the vibe.
We survived the iron, but we lost the light. Rows of shields buried under the sleet. An empty valley at the conqueror's feet. No chest thumping here, just the cold hard numb. Staring at the skin of a broken war drum. I call out the names, but the winter just swallows. Walking through the ruins where the ghost wind follows.
The ravens are crying your name in the dark. The fire is dead, not a glimmer, sparkle. The vanguard is ash. On the stone we inherit the crown, but we sit here alone. Falling like rain on the shield. Buried deep in the frost of the field.
We won the day, but we lost our soul. Nothing but a cradle where the heart was whole.
Ashes of the vanguard, bleeding in the clay. The price of the glory.
We couldn't betray. Look at the banners that tattered and torn, burying brothers in the midst of the morn. Every single victory feels just like a noose. When you're counting the fallen, then there ain't no excuse. My hands are still stained with the dirt and the rust. Building up a kingdom out of sorrow and dust. Viral flow slow to a funeral pace. Wiping the soot from a dead brother's face.
Sleep now under the snow.
you behind. Ashes
Falling like rain on the shield. Buried deep in the frost of the field.
We won the day, but we lost the soul. Nothing but a crater where the heart was whole.
Ashes on the stone. Ashes on the stone. Ashes on the stone.
Yeah, that was actually really good. I need to make the next track soon. Probably will cook up a little bit after this. Boss-wise, I still feel Valby does better than Bunny to an extent. Bunny's flash kick is awesome. But these guys are pretty wild. Hey Weiss, nothing much is up, just playing some TFD, doing a little build testing. Go, let's go, let's go. No! I feel like in order to make her competitive, the spiral tidal wave should not have a cooldown. Because yeah, she's just too slow compared to say Bunny. She's alright, But Bunny is still way faster, simply because you can charge up her ultimate way quicker. Let's test Clay with the good old Blunder Cage build. The old reliable. Let's load this up. Let's swap over to Thunder Cage. Yeah. Arcade tuning's correct. Okay. Quick test. Bastion of Immortality. Glade does not give a damn who traps her where. She'll just shoot her way out. Okay, she just wasted that. As always, Glade just melts the boss. Yeah, even the new boss stands like no chance against Glay. She does not give a damn. Glade is gonna run up on your set and absolutely decimate it. Yeah, so Glade's as fast as Bunny. Valby unfortunately falls short here. Skill-based Valby, of course. Glade does not give a damn. She just rips through everything. So Glade and Bunny are about the same, but Bunny is still a bit faster than Glade. So we still have a bit of an advantage there. Give me a second. Save these. Okay. I really shouldn't be doing doubles on this, but for the sake of my business, I need to go fast. Okay, good. I can leave that be. Swapping over. Oh wait, she didn't even have her inversion reinforcer fully done. No, she did. Okay. Preset. Let's go back to Bunny. Actually, wait, sorry. Let's go back to Valby for a second. We do need to improve certain things. Almost forgotten. Now I can finally assign this here. Okay, now if I recall, this is the one. It should still deliver pretty much everything we need. The only other downside is a little bit of a what if. They're all fusion, so dimension doesn't matter. Yeah, okay. Let's go with that. here we go. New test. There should be a slight increase to power here. Should being the keyword. Okay, here it comes. Carpet bomb the room. I think I'm gonna have to use the Slayer set. The Enlightened Mage is nice, but the way I see it, only the Slayer set is going to actually benefit me. I'm gonna have to swap around because the cooldowns are too important. Without the cooldowns, I can't do shit. That's a problem. That's a big problem. it's looking good so far. Lol. Okay, slightly better. At least it's not 7 minutes this time. It's 6 minutes, but still, overall, not great. Okay. Let's make some changes. Let us make some changes. Time for readjustment. Okay. Let's go full Slayer. This is fine. This is fine. All fine. Change this over to focus on non-attribute. Okay. This should help the cooldowns a bit, because the cooldowns are the biggest issue. What would work with her? There is power beyond, but I almost wonder if there's anything better. I wonder how ground eruption work actually. I'm very tempted to test this. There's no cooldown on it. Let's give it a try. Compared to, I mean, look. Oh, wait. First, we should set the stage with Power Beyond, because we need to know if this new formula will work. Let's test this new formula first. Then we will try some other trigger modules that might work better. Good. It's already Time to move on, okay. This actually does feel faster, strangely enough. Could be placebo. But so far it is feeling faster. The multipliers are way nastier. Nope. I will post it in a video. Alright, we don't share it on stream. And nobody really plays public, dude. It's a waste of time because most people are weak. And Jaber is not played right now. Jaber's too weak. So there will be no updated Jaber build because Jaber hasn't been changed at all. The old Jaber build is the only build that there is, and he's weak. When Jaber receives buffs, that's when there'll be an updated build. Jaber has not received buffs for like many months. He was reworked once and that was it. And he still only has, I think, 2 trigger modules. Boss room MP is the only real issue. Okay, this is the fastest we've done it. Still no match for Bunny though. But it does go to show that the Slayer set works way better. Okay. Nice. Now let's try doing more variances. If we change this over and we try out Ground Eruption. Nope. The performance compared to Bunny is shit. Bunny is currently so OP that she is basically the fastest, which of course I guess that's what they intended. Glay can compete, but Valby overall doesn't do as much because her damage is damage over time, so naturally she'll just take longer. So if you're going for the fastest times, then my Bunny build, which drops today, is probably going to be the best for you. And my Ancestor module is pretty bad on Bunny. If you have a really good Ancestor module, Bunny will probably be like a minute faster. But since the devs keep power creeping, unfortunately characters that you used last month are gonna be not so good this month. It's a major problem with their balancing. They really need to stop with that. And while I can get Valby pretty okay, the enemies in this particular new area are very strong, so unless your build does like millions of damage per second, you are going to suffer a lot. It's not a lot of patches, it's once per month, but basically every time they rework a character, that character is going to be the strongest for that month. So it's not a lot of patches. I would prefer more patches and more balancing so that they can actually rework characters that haven't been touched in ages. But because they do the reworks one at a time, basically you have to use whatever character they rework that month. No problem, Katie. AFK away. From a fun perspective, yes, but from an efficiency perspective, no. She's way too slow. That's the only issue right now. Valby cannot compete with the all-new Bunny. And they balance this particular map around Bunny, so just be aware of that. Lol. Valby, how could you get slapped like that? You nerd. Okay, boss coming up. Here we go. Okay, good. Slide through. Slide through. Of course, did it yesterday. If you missed all the streams yesterday, you can check it out. She's very fast. Yeah, run whatever you feel like. And correction, she was one of the strongest last month when she got her rework. This month is different, that's all. But of course, it also depends on your ancestor module. Technically speaking, if you got a way better ancestor module than I have, like one of those super maximized ancestor modules with like 3 amazing stats, then Valby will probably be just as fast. But unless you're gonna pay to win, that's pretty much impossible for most people. So the average ancestor module that you're gonna have with like maybe 2-3 decent stats roughly is gonna be alright. It's not gonna get you through anything special, but you know, she's workable. It's not like she's super bad or anything. She's an alright donut. Yes and no. It depends, really. With a good build, yes, she can do very well. And of course, her Supply Moisture build is still very, very good for Onslaught. Now, Onslaught is very different from this. This is the latest invasion, infiltration, whatever you want to call it. It is the latest, so of course, you can expect it to be a bit different. And the reworks and things like that are going to be balanced around this. But Onslaught still remains a self-contained environment, so Valby is still very good in Onslaught with the right build. Same with the Ness and Ice Bullet Viessa, all very good in Onslaught. But if we're just talking specifically about this, then she is a bit behind. Like, even with like a top tier build, she's still about like 551. So if you like just compare this to Bunny, I can show you guys right now, it's better. She's way faster with gun. Hey, if you can do it with the gun build, go for it. I might have to try her gun build at some point because I need to build it for Onslaught anyway, but if she can beat 4 minutes, then she's good. Good night, Gabak. Get some good rest. See, Bunny doesn't have to stop to cast, so she benefits a lot from that. Then she can just flash kick stuff, and off she goes. Of course, like I said, the way they do their balancing is very, very annoying. Whichever character is the flavor of the month that month will be the strongest character. They just changed her like yesterday. So most people wouldn't know because it's the most recent patch. Very nice. They did change Bubble, so I will try out her gun build at some point. I suppose you're using the hammer and anvil? Now, the downside is that she does suck against bosses because her flash kick, no matter what, will still probably not beat the higher damage that you're going to see from a lot of other characters. That, and it's a bit jank because the wave damage, right? For example, the kick, there's a kick damage and then there's wave damage. Sometimes the wave damage doesn't hit for some god-awful reason. So that's the only downside right now. Once they patch that, Bunny will be even faster. Yeah, I figured. Fair enough. No. Electric Condense is terrible. I mean, if you think that it's good, then okay. But as far as I remember, the damage is quite low. At least compared to Flash Kick. Obviously, Bunny is going to be way better. Still. I can give Electric Condense another retest, but I was not impressed at all. That's if you crit and if the waves hit. You can never get 100% crit rate, although Bunny gets very close. That's because every enemy has crit resistance, so... Did you see that the wave didn't crit there? So you got the crit on the kick. Because now, basically, the key is that there's 2 instances of damage. The problem is that the second instance, the wave doesn't always hit. So yeah, about 4 minutes 30 or less. But the other dude said that gun Valby is faster, so you can try that as well. For me, I'm satisfied enough with Bunny. That is if you have a really good golden ensemble, and if you have a really good ancestor module. Most people do not. Whereas this will work with just even the most basic ancestor module. Because Flash Kick itself is strong, but hey, look. If you got the good stuff and you think that Electric Condense will work better for you, especially if you got a good golden ensemble, go for it. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you don't have a solid golden ensemble with like gold rolls, then yeah, this is better. Because this, I'm doing it with the Ancestor module that has barely any decent rolls. It's just a very basic Ancestor module. And even if you get 100% skill critical hit rate, which I do here as well anyway, I will tell you this, again, the main issue for Bunny is that, or any crit character, is that no matter what, enemies have critical hit resistance. You can never guarantee a crit, just so you know. You will always have a chance of never critting because crit resistance is a thing. I think I did an old video on that explaining it, in case you didn't know, but yeah. Most people do know about that. Still, 100% is better than not having it. No, critical hit resistance just lowers your chance of getting a critical hit. I didn't say it halves it. You can go find my old video on it. I explained the math. But it's quite an old video because this was like a year ago when everybody was still doing the math behind this game. If you can find it, it does explain it. A YouTube search should give you an idea. The only downside to this is that you get lazy, and sometimes you forget to store up flash kicks. I just wish they would let the wave guarantee a hit each time. Because each kick I should be getting 2 instances of damage, not 1. But c'est la vie. Well, lazy and also low investment, because the only issue with the gun builds is that you need a really good ancestor module and you need to build up the gun itself as well. A lot of players don't want to do that, so alternative is just play pure skill. But pure skill will obviously be weaker. But for now, this will do. I mostly run an MP doggo. You don't really need health because not only does your inversion reinforcer passively recover it for you, but you get a protective shield with this anyway. So realistically, there's no need for health. You just want as much MP as possible to keep running. Yeah, the runtime is known. I've shown everybody. It's always about 4 minutes 25. If your electric condense can do anything under 4 minutes, then you're good. But again, yours is conditional, so yeah. AFK has been a problem since the start of the game. Just report them and move on. The time to beat is 4 minutes. But the requirement, of course, for yours would be, number 1, golden ensemble. You need gold rolls, which would make any build good. And, of course, the other thing would be the good ancestor module. I'd say flash kick is more generally accessible, but we were having a discussion yesterday about golden ensemble, so I can see the value in that. But yeah, there's a lot of people that actually bought this game by going AFK and things like that. They do it because they can farm, like they'll have multiple accounts, like say they'll have 10, 20 accounts. Then they'll just farm the red modules they'll farm the ancestor modules that way. They get a really good roll, they sell it for caliber. It's the same RMT trading market that exists in Diablo Immortal, things like that. Because whales will always pay for power. So a market will always exist to cater to whales because they've got the money. I beg to differ. Getting 4 gold rolls is pretty hard. I'm target farming it right now, and it's still quite difficult to get. So if you have a one with really good gold rolls, you're lucky. I mean, you really only need the 2 skill power rolls to be gold. The rest you don't care about. Yeah. I wouldn't say it's not hard. The rolls are quite difficult. Yeah, like I said, you don't have to care about the range. But at the very least, if you want your skill power maximized, that still has to be a gold roll. Yes, essentially. Currently, though, my damage is a little lower because I'm using electric adaptability, mostly for the MP. And I should have charged the kick before that. Sorry, that was my bad. But flavor-wise, kind of like with Valby, for those of you that enjoy it, it does feel like a Kamen Rider kick. So from that perspective, it's pretty nice. Oop, wait, I gotta go back to Albion. It's wall crasher time. That much I can truly enjoy. The Kamen Rider kick vibe, that's cool. Let me just dip over to wall crasher. I need to build her gun build, though. That, for me, is going to be the biggest thing. I need to build that gun build. I suppose I should get my hammer and anvil up to snuff first. Okay, now let everybody else carry me. Just jumping around. Kneecap. Yes, go Serenas, go. Kneecap. Kneecap. I like that we don't have to pick up the loot here anymore, though. I don't know when they made this change, but it's pretty good. Alright, sweet. Let's get out of here. I don't know about that. First try? Alright. If I get a good golden ensemble mode, I'll definitely give it a go. Okay, for RKXP, I think the fastest would still be... What the hell? Lol, easy anti-cheat is not trusted by my system. I swear they have such problems with easy anti-cheat. But yeah, you can just roll Sigma Sector if you want. I guess that's easiest. But I'm pretty sure there are other ways to get RKXP. I just haven't tested it. So I don't think about it too much. I think, yeah, it should still be Sigma if it's purely grinding RK. But anyway, if I get a good golden ensemble roll, I'll definitely test it out. Actually, wait a second. It does hit twice, right? Let me see. There was one thing I didn't think about. Why is this having issues? It hits twice. Yeah, actually, the damage modifiers are not that much lower. If I swap back, because I did it with electric display, but if I were to swap back, I mean, this would be damn near perfect, but let me first try with the old Power Beyond first. Because I did the test with electric adaptability, but then I think I may not need it anymore. Ah, but then I'd have to go cooldowns. Shit. That's right. So I'd have to swap over here. Because I would still need my cooldowns. If that were the case, and if I actually needed cooldowns, okay, let me try. No. Infected weapon, unless you're going to shoot them, generally is not the case. The only difference would be Golden Ensemble, which is very, very good right now. I just want a gold on that first roll. For any character that can trigger all of them, you want to have it, because Golden Ensemble is just glorious. So it's still one explosion, but there is secondary damage. The main thing is I need to try it on the bosses. Because yesterday I did it with electric adaptability, but I don't really need that. So if I swap it over to Power Beyond, it's no Golden Ensemble, but at the very least Power Beyond is about half the power of Golden Ensemble. It should still provide me a decent enough example. Where's the last guy? There he is. Yeah, it's not that much lower than Flash Kick. You just have to deal with the cooldown. It does, but I'm just measuring without a good Ancestor module and without Golden Ensemble. What's the difference? Because Golden Ensemble adds a lot. It is literally multiplying your damage because, don't forget, you're talking base skill power, which can then multiply with electrical skill power. So, considering the fact that Slayer set already presents a really huge multiplier, yeah. But I do like to do a bit of a benchmark because, look, the results of each person is going to vary based on what they have and what they don't have. So when I construct my build, I think about like, okay, what does it feel like with just the average? What does it feel like if I had optimized gear? Because there's a lot of people that don't want to invest and spend time or don't want to spend caliber, which is completely fine. I mean, I don't either. This game could get the plug pulled anytime, so I'm really not going to be spending much caliber or time here. Exactly why I prefer to invest my time in ARPGs. I'm just waiting for the new season of Diablo 4, so I'm here while that's going on. Yeah, it is slower by a bit. So the crucial key would be having a solid Golden Ensemble mod. Like you have one of those, you're solid. And then, you know, you go in with, like, if you don't have that, Flash Kick is fine. If you do have that and a good Ancestor module, no problem. So I can switch back over to Flash Kick. Like, Flash Kick is very stable. You can have a shitty AM and, you know, nothing fantastic in here and you still be okay. But yeah, that would be, for me at least, the main difference. And that's fine. Like, at the very least, if you don't have to care about it, you're okay. Now, where is my adaptability? There we are. Still waiting for, sorry, electric display. Still waiting for a better one. Yep, like I said, I don't disagree with the choice of electric condense, but the requirements might be more than what the average person can do, and my builds are made for the average. So, shitty AM and just basic power beyond or anything like that. In fact, technically you could still use electric condense, you'd be fine. But you, like for me, I'm mostly using this electric display for the MP recovery. So, yeah. Honestly, I would say, like, if you don't have all the tools at your disposal, Flash Kick is probably better, but if you do have everything at your disposal, then by all means use electric condense. You'd probably get more use out of it. Okay, I'm gonna BRB. And then I'm going back to messing around with Valby. So, give me a second, I'm gonna go get some water. Let me program this first. Okay, good. All right, BRB. I mean, if you're not worried about kill time, yeah, just ride around on your surfboard, blast off, relax. Very little effort required. It is, as most people would say, lazy gameplay, which is, you know, not a bad thing. I don't think people sleep on Valby. I think it's just that everyone's got their preferences, and you gotta remember, the player base right now is very low. Like, we barely have any players compared to most live service games. So you're not gonna see a lot of discussion, because it's a very limited number of players actually playing. In fact, a lot of people just log in, they don't actually play the game. People use Steam numbers to say, oh, the game's not dying, look, there's still a relatively active player base. But most of those people don't actually play the game. They literally log in, collect their rewards, and off they go. Which is what I'll be doing once the new season of Diablo drops. So, yeah, unfortunately our player base of actually active players is quite low. That's why you might think that people are sleeping on Valby, but realistically, people with a good roster, they know that she's decent. Like, her gun build is well known as being very strong. I just haven't built up the stuff for it, and I don't know if I want to put in the effort to. I guess I should, but at the same time, yeah, most people do. Look, and I hate saying this, but I'm well aware of it. About 60% of the player count that you see log in, play maybe 30, 60 minutes, and then they log off. And they go play and invest their time in other games that give them more bang for their buck. Again, it's not a bad thing. It's not a negative. It's just the way it is, because all we do is just do the same stuff over and over. Like, even Path of Exile 2's endgame, and I have lambasted their endgame because I feel it's very flat and boring in my personal opinion, compared to Diablo 4's. Not the best, not the most popular take, I get it. but this is even worse than that. I'd rather play Path of Exile 2's endgame because at least I get excited when there's good loot, you know, or there's really challenging boss fights. Like, I feel excited about that. But here, there isn't really anything to get excited about. So, you know, it's more like you turn your brain off and play, which is, again, fine. It's not a negative, it's not a bad thing, it's just maybe not the most engaging stuff in the world. Yep, and therein lies the problem. I mean, the most fun thing about this game is the world chat. You can see all the degenerate, unemployed people who have nothing better to do than to sit in world chat all day. It's pretty awesome. For the time that I do play, I get a small human experiment. Not much, honestly. Like, you can get by with a pretty bad roll. I'd say about 190 plus is more than enough. And it's very easy to get that, because it's not a, like, big roll for her. It's a pretty small roll. Yeah, nothing wrong if you feel that way. As somebody that plays video games for a living, I see a lot of nuances and differences between the two. But your opinion's your opinion. That's totally cool. And if that's what makes you prefer TFD, then go for it. Nothing wrong with that. For some people, that is their enjoyment and that's what makes them feel happy. I'm okay with that. I'm just choosing not to invest anything in this game because you never know when the plug's gonna get pulled, so I'm just chilling. Yeah, that was slow, but that was because of my own slow play. Let's see, do I have anything else that... Cooldown is 2 seconds. I've never tried several of these. I actually want to try them, just for fun. I have never used water play and I don't ever intend to. There's literally no need to use water play because as far as I know it does not give any benefits. All it does is it makes her first skill put down a sheet of water, which as far as I know is not very useful because the bubble bullet has practically auto aim tracking plus puddle DOT. So you're using Spiral Tidal Wave, dude. Spiral Tidal Wave is the one that increases a crit while she's on water. You can't play the crit build without it because she doesn't have enough base crit. Yeah, I tested it day one of the rework. It's kind of pointless. Like, why would anyone use it? All it does is put down a sheet of water. It's like, bruh. It serves literally no purpose. What? No. How could you use water play? Like, water play has, like, literally no value. You can't crit with water play. If you see crits, it has to be Spiral Tidal Wave. Already tried that, yeah. But it doesn't deal enough damage without crits because the big problem with non-crit, and like I already made the non-crit build last month, but the biggest trouble with non-crit I find is that because there's no critical multiplier, your overall damage is lower. But it's not bad. Like, Singing Water is pretty good. Technically though, having to stack up a lot of laundry can be a bit of a headache, depending on the boss. For some it's okay, for some it gets a bit weird. Hello, Ray up. No, nothing wrong with that. If it's your preference, go for it. Singing Water is a fair option for non-crit. I wouldn't say that, Market Day. The non-crit build, depending on the type of content, as Time to Solo says, can be viable. Because, look, what you gotta understand about crit is that the reason why most builds need crit is when you're doing like hyper endgame content, the enemy just... The way they do challenge in this game is by making enemies damage sponges, right? So if enemies are damage sponges, then you need as much damage as possible. Hence why crit, for most characters, would be like so-called the most viable pathway. That's not to say that non-crit doesn't have its place, because if the enemy's hit points are at a stage whereby your non-crit damage is more than good enough, you're okay. You're genuinely okay. So it doesn't always have to be that way. And that's the sad thing about how they've done like this game. Because enemies in lower level areas are sort of left behind in terms of how much damage they deal, how much hit points they have, you can get away with, like, in some situations, depending on the type of content you're doing, you can get away with like a really shitty build. And in fact, depending on efficiency and, you know, how much area you can cover, you may not realistically need like full-on heavy damage. I remember there was one odd situation in the past where, and this was a distant past, but it was quite funny because I recall Blair, before his rework or something like that, was faster in certain missions than Bunny, and it was hilarious back then. And it was simply because Blair could like cover a larger area, putting down a lot of stuff, which was stupid and funny at the same time. But of course, nowadays, with the way that they do their reworks, it's more about just which character is maximized for the month. Criticals are orange numbers, non-crits are white numbers. Criticals multiply your damage. That's basically it, Last Chaos. A non-critical build does not see orange numbers. Basically, you sacrifice all of your crit for more raw skill power. Whereas a crit build, you usually have to put in the crit modifiers, so things that will increase your critical rate, until you mostly see orange numbers like that. You don't want to be seeing white numbers. So that's the difference. You can still be efficient with non-crit, yes. If the enemy doesn't have enough hit points for you to have to bother with crits, like you can deal enough damage to them with non-crits, technically you could be more efficient with non-crits because you could go faster or overall dish out, like, technically you'd be dishing out lower damage, but faster, if that makes sense. Because non-crit has a lot of advantages, like better cooldowns, and also the MP boost modifier. She gains bonuses from having just more MP, so do take note of that as well. But again, this would be something whereby like you'd have to actually know exactly how much hit points to bother with. I prefer not to waste my time on such calculations. So I would just stick with one build and off I go. It's not that the math gives me a headache. The math is relatively simple. I just don't care enough. If you look at my videos for when this game first came out, I go deep into the math. I just don't bother nowadays because what's the point? You're welcome, Last Chaos. Your catalyst is 85. What? Okay, anyone in chat know what this Ramisa person is talking about? Their catalyst is 85 and they want to reset the catalyst. What is he talking about? Catalysts are for resetting your characters and your weapons. And the max level is 40. So unless I'm missing something, this guy high, or am I just unaware? Actually, you know what? I never thought about was it concretion? I do need to think about that. I did not think about that the last time. I should try it. I had this before. Yeah, it's much more worth it than that. I did not think of that.
Well,
That's fair.
you're here for modules, right?
Let me shove that shit up there. Okay. All right. Excuse me. Let's try with the base power beyond. Dangerous ambush I don't like because of the way targeting works. Yeah, but that one I definitely will say no to. That one is my stylistic choice, but I really hate Dangerous Ambush. I find it complete garbo. While it is arguable that it's okay in some circumstances, I'd rather have Breach Explorer. I cannot stand Dangerous Ambush because of the whole targeting thing. So this is non-crit. Alright. Technically, I'm still doing numbers. As you can see, like for the trash mobs, it doesn't really matter whether I crit or non-crit. They're still okay. That's kind of the dealio. Because you don't really, like here, you do not give a damn about the, like for the trash mobs at least, the crits don't matter. Yeah, fair. Infiltration mechanism is one of the trigger modules that I did not understand thoroughly. But you say combine it with Dangerous Ambush. I might try it. Why not, right? Experimentation's part of the fun in life. But yeah, as you can see here, we're, like, at least for the trash mobs, we're just as efficient as the crit build. The key will come during the actual boss fight, though. That's going to be different. And I think I have the wrong arcade tuning on. Sorry, I forgot to change my arcade tuning back. Yeah, the bubble is a bit poo, unfortunately. I don't disagree with that. Singing water is very nice, as long as you stay close range. My only other issue with it was the close range. I hated the close range. Either that or maybe it's just the animation, but it makes it feel like I have to be in melee range to use that. It could just that I do admit could be my problem. Because I always feel like Singing Water, I have to be there in their face. Because the animation of it makes me think that if I'm not like in their face, I'm dealing no damage. You know, back in the day, I used to say never mention the game Warframe here because it used to invite trolls. I think the trolls literally stopped caring about us to the point that I haven't seen them at my shows in forever. They used to troll me every day back like year one when this game first came out. You even mentioned Warframe. Oh my god, we would get trolled to the nines. Nowadays, they don't even stop by anymore. Build up more laundry, and my Singing Water can deal more damage. Cannon spray. But yeah, at the very least for trash mobs, you can see that she's doing just as much as the crit build with non-crit. So non-crit is not necessarily bad. It just has different nuances. Washi, washi, washi. There we go. As long as his laundry debuff stays, we're all good. I'm doing alright, Neo Tengu. Can't complain too much. Because my Singing Water damage is entirely based on laundry stacks. Now with max laundry stacks, though, there is actual value. Maybe not the best value, but at least some actual value. This is the same old non-crit build I released last time. Water cannon. Oh, hey. It's actually just as fast. Thanks to Arcade Concretion, though. This improved my time a lot. So yeah, non-crit can be as fast as crit. In fact, with Arcade Concretion, because I didn't think of that before, thank you, by the way, Time to Solo, this actually might have a slightly faster time. Slightly. But then again, Singing Water is really strong. Especially because this boss, you can stack up 50 laundry on him. No, the crit is actually about 551. Depends on how fast I play. If I play seriously, it can get around 540, 550 around there. I'm not going to 100% like say that this is faster because there are some variations due to like the structure of the dungeon and things like that. Because don't forget, the dungeon is not linear. Sometimes you get the really weird run. What about the 4? The modifier, you mean you're talking about focus on fusion? Yeah, fair enough. Well, in that case, yeah, that is something I do not have. But that does make me wonder if I should have fusion amplification. Because I do not have it in this build, but I could push it a little bit. If I was willing to sacrifice Breach Explorer, I guess. But no, I've just got Fusion Skill Power Boost ratio on this one. Like I said, I don't have a great modifier on this, but if I did, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, at base, the modifier is really poo. But that does give me interesting ideas if I was willing to sacrifice. Because Arcade Concretion's good. But yeah, we could test it just for shits and giggles. Let's actually see. Fusion. Because you could toss in like fusion amplification. Do I have another X slot somewhere? I do. Let's put this in place of Breach Explorer. Just to see what would happen, because this would pump it up to 138. That one requires Ancestor Module, so I can't, but the other one you mentioned was Infiltration Mechanism. Sure. Why not? Because they're all ground DOT anyway. Okay. Let's see what happens. Why not? Let's mess around. The Ancestor Module thing I can't test, but this, sure. The only thing I never understood about Infiltration Mechanism is the time to trigger 5 seconds. I wonder about that. Well, let's see. I want to max my MP, that's all. Because it is at least half the increase of... I'm pretty sure I can still, like, her cap. I don't think I'd hit her cap without Enlightenment. I know there's still higher I can go. But I don't mind varying to see the difference. But either way, if I don't need enlightenment, I could swap that for either Breach Explorer or Dangerous Ambush anyway. So I'm okay with that. I have another stream in the evening where I can test that out, so that's something I can do, no problem. Speaking of which, I need to call my girl. Oh wait, no I don't. It's Saturday. I thought I forgot to call her because the alarm didn't go off. And I was like, wait a minute, you're in the EU region. If it's 8:50, shouldn't I call it? It's Saturday, there's no work today. I was like, why didn't my alarm go off? Because I call my girl every day, except for Saturday and Sunday, obviously. Have a water gun. Run away! Yeah, with the additional modifier, it's a lot stronger. Okay. Looks good. Hey, we did get it faster. 512 at least. Now this I can say, so if we modify it with Arcade Concretion and Diffusion Amplification, which I didn't think of before, we do get it faster. But I can't tell if it's because of Infiltration mechanism or not. Let's take that out temporarily and put Power Beyond back on. Yeah, true. We could get it below 5. But tonight, I definitely want to test out the Dangerous Ambush versus Breach Explorer. We could push a little harder. Arcade Concretion definitely was a big help. I can't believe I missed it before, so thank you for that. That one is a major difference. That's actually one of the big problems with this game. There are just too many things that people don't think about. It's almost as bad as the sheer number of uniques in Diablo, whereby like you know, sometimes it's hard to think of what unique I should be using for what build. It gets super wild, so yeah. They've introduced so many different ultimate modules, things like that. It's like, bro, if you don't think about it, you just don't use it. But the value of it is undeniable. Spray this guy to death. They really should, because I feel that bloat does not give us options. If you're gonna bloat, then it must give us, like, it must give actual options to the user. If it doesn't give actual options to the user, then bloat is useless. A narrower series of much more useful ultimates would be better, in my opinion. I prefer a trimmer selection. Less to remember. But then again, I've got like dozens of different games to play, so for me at least, it's a major hassle and a headache. Oh, come on. Yeah, the only downside is interruption. Can't just stand there and spam. Whereas with the bubble launcher, you can just stand there, spam it all, and you don't have to worry. I hope I don't forget to log in. That's the only problem. With Power Beyond, I can at least finish him off in one shot. So I think it works better than Infiltration Mechanism for me right now. But then again, Infiltration Mechanism didn't get a fully fair test. I'll have to test it more tonight. But tonight I'll do the test without Enlightenment for both. And see how it feels. Well, Infiltration Mechanism was faster. So that means that, objectively speaking, with Power Beyond, that's still, with this whole setup, it's still better. Okay. So tonight I have to test it with Dangerous Ambush and replace Enlightenment. But I'll still do Power Beyond with Breach Explorer as well. Okay, at least I've got something to do tonight. Which is good. Because Bunny is pretty much dry now. At least until I get something better, and I still gotta farm this. So, ladies and gents, thank you very much for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'll see you guys later this evening for more Valby testing. Alright, we'll check out the changes that I mentioned, and we'll roll with the non-crit. Then, of course, I'll have a video for you guys up and ready to go. So, yeah. thank you very much for joining me today, and I'll see y'all later tonight. Catch you, fam.